Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Aries energy, and like usual on this channel, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Aries energy. The bottom row could be a more shadowy or more worldly focused Aries energy. It could be some people battling within themselves, but there's always going to be some people in the world that come into some truth, some understanding, more bold, more brave, have healed, that are ready to move forward and live their life differently. And then there's going to be other people in the world that haven't come into that insight or learned those lessons or healed or don't choose to move forward in life differently, and they could be represented by the more shadowy energy. You know, we all have our dualistic nature, we all have our more shadowy nature. We all have our more hopeful, believing nature. We've all got lessons to learn. We've all got healing to do. And, you know, us in relation to other people and other people in relation to relationship to us, you know, are at different points in time of kind of like our healing journey. So anyway, we're going to look at it from a couple different perspectives. We all tap into Aries energy. So listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story, and listen to your intuition about where other people are at in the story. You know, high vibe Aries energy is people who are more bold and brave and confident to lead the way, you know, and motivated and inspired by love. And when we're in our shadow nature, we could be more about indulging ourselves or in our ego or in our defensive nature, just wanting to feel better, and we maybe haven't learned to love and believe in ourselves. So the high vibe energy, the reason it came out is because of the Nine of Cups, which can talk about believing in yourself, believing in your dreams. It's Pisces energy, loving yourself, believing in yourself to get out of your emotional confusion and your illusions and your fears and your insecurities, to be more independent emotionally in the world. Emotionally independent from your own shadowy nature, your more immature, indulgent, or fearful, or insecure, or whatever nature, to know how to fill up your own cup emotionally and to believe in your dreams. High vibe energy wants people to go within to gain insight and understanding about what would be emotionally fulfilling to them, like long term. You know, the Seven of Pentacles, what would you really like to invest your time, energy, and effort into? You know, we could turn our back on moving forward, and we could continue to invest in hiding what would make us happy. We could keep making our life about indulgence because we're fearful of being more emotionally independent, or maybe there'd be people we'd have to detach from in the Tower card. You know, and that could be comfortable, you know, just even living our life kind of more about indulging ourselves or being in relationships with other people who aren't emotionally independent, who'll stay in a relationship with us maybe more because of status or image or stability or security, maybe because both people are afraid of being more emotionally independent. Should I let go of living my life like this and speak my truth? That alone is going to keep some people from moving forward because they don't want to speak the truth. They don't want to see the truth. The truth sets us free because our shadow nature is represented by the devil. Kind of the things we'd like to keep hidden in the dark. Some people in their Virgo energy, they don't have to be a Virgo sun sign, but in our Virgo energy, we're either willing to go within and face the things we wanted to keep hidden in the dark, or things that were just in the dark that we didn't even know were there. You know? Are we in relationships with people who are just indulging us and we don't want to see the truth that they don't really love us? Are they willing to be in a relationship with us because it's good for their status and their image and it makes them happy, but they're never going to let go of their defensiveness and move forward in truth and love, and our dream maybe isn't ever going to come into reality with them. If you're motivated and inspired by truth and justice and fairness and love, that's what high vibe people want to have. But are we willing to detach from the things we'd have to detach from and speak our truth about what would really make us happy? And if the people that we've been investing in hide from maybe even connecting in with their emotions, or don't believe in their dreams, or kind of are about indulging themselves and we've been indulging with them, you know, we can all get the Seven of Cups, or actually this is the Nine of Cups, but it's Pisces energy, and Pisces energy can talk about getting caught up in illusions, and, you know, it's kind of us indulging ourselves. But are we investing in something just because we don't want to let it go and speak the truth or see the truth? So it's kind of like living a life of illusion. Look how wonderful everything is and look how happy we are. But it's not based on truth and love and justice and fairness and character and integrity. And either we're not acting that way, or the people we're investing in, that's not their truth. You know, sometimes we get in these mismatched relationships where some people are very loving and nurturing and supportive and encouraging, and they try to love and encourage other people to believe in themselves, to let go of their defensiveness, you know, to free themselves. But the thing is, if the other people aren't making the free will choice to free themselves, to choose love, it could be because they're hiding they like to indulge in relationships. You know, if people keep investing in them and people keep indulging them and people don't let go of being in a relationship, well, they kind of get what they want, right? I'm being indulged, I'm getting everything I want. The person who I'm in a relationship wants me to be more aligned with the truth, which high vibe truth is justice and fairness and character and integrity and being authentic and being loving and being vulnerable. And as long as the loving people don't detach, well, then the people who are hiding that they like to indulge in a relationship get to be indulged. Are we willing to speak our truth? You know, if we keep indulging people in their poor behavior, or keep indulging ourselves in our poor behavior, there's no incentive to change, and we're not changing. Some of you might have let go of something you had been investing in because you wanted it based on the truth. You wanted it based on love. And then when you detach from that, you could have spoken your truth maybe to some people in the world. You know, sometimes in our life we have lessons to learn, and we'll be drawn and attracted to certain people in life because we could be repeating an old pattern. We could have been drawn and attracted to people because whatever reason, anyway. Just say you had lessons to learn about getting clear about what your truth was. You know, maybe just to get you to stand up for yourself and love yourself. And then sometimes when we detach from those relationships we got into that taught us some valuable lessons, sometimes then we can realize, you know, there's maybe some people in my life that I didn't get in relationship with, or I let go of being in relationship with, because basically I had some lessons to learn. And you could have communicated to some of those people that I have gone within and I gained insight and understanding, and I learned to love myself, and I learned to invest in loving myself. Because if we haven't learned to love ourselves, you know, we can reject other loving people in our life. And then we can repeat these patterns where instead of being in relationships with people who treat us the way we treat them, that cannot be a pattern of relationship we're used to. And we're kind of used to enabling other people in their poor behavior. And it's kind of our own little God or Savior complex, you know? I'm going to make them choose love, you know? And the people who do choose love, I don't know, that's weird. I'm not used to being in relationships with people like that. I'm used to dealing with people who are defensive. So that's my comfort zone. I'm going to go get in a relationship with them. And then when we learn the lesson, like, oh gosh, it was all about, it was supposed to be about love and me loving myself and standing up for myself. And now that I did, you might have communicated with some people in your past that you could have pushed away and been defensive to. And the whole thing is, some of those people might have gotten in their own new situations. Some of them are happy and loving, and of course, they're not going to let that go. You know, why would they let that go if it's, and they no longer, um, the truth of maybe if they found someone else to be in a relationship that they have an emotionally fulfilling relationship with, the truth of being and reuniting with someone is not their truth anymore. And then, as some of you detach from people and move forward in your life, there could be people in your past that are like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have rejected that person. And, you're going to move on with your life. And they're that's no longer your truth. I no longer, I've either moved on in new relationships or I've just grown and matured myself. That's no longer my truth. And then sometimes some people are repeating an old pattern and they want to come back in your life. It's like, yeah, I'm not living my life like that anymore. You know, I'm not just, you've learned different lessons in life and freed yourself from certain habits or patterns or ways of living life that you're just not interested in living your life that way anymore. And, same thing can happen with people you would like to be in a relationship. And the whole thing is, if there had been a part of us that wanted to invest in someone, maybe kind of secretly, because Virgo is kind of about not being really public and open about things. There could have been someone that you wanted to invest in, but, the tower is about seeing the truth that if other people seem to not be communicating their truth to us, we have to see the truth that it's time to move on. And we keep loving and believing in ourselves and just assuming, okay, well, that was something I thought would maybe come into reality. It didn't. Okay. I got to deal with the truth. And I'm going to keep loving and believing in myself and keep moving forward in truth and love. Now, there could have been some other people in the world who went through similar situations like that in life. And instead of going within, I guess we didn't really talk about this part, but the reason for the bottom row kind of being in more shadowy energy is the Four of Cups, focused on a relationship of the past that didn't work out and rejecting taking that cup of love to go within and deal with the truth. We can keep staying sad forever about a relationship that didn't work out. The truth sets us free, and our own Virgo nature, if we do it, Virgo's earth sign energy. We have to invest time, energy, and effort to go within to reflect on why that relationship didn't work out. And, we have to see how did we invest our time, energy, and effort in that relationship? Were we unwilling to see some truths? Were we just and fair? Were we loving? Were we nurturing? Were we supportive? We also have to see the truth about the people we were trying to invest in. Are they still focused on the past and they haven't dealt with some past pain and heartbreak or self-limiting beliefs? Could the people we got in relationship with been people who are hiding the fact that they kind of like to more indulge in a relationship and they're defensive to being more emotionally independent? They might have people in their life that they invest in and they were hiding that, they look to those people in their life, whether that's their original family group or a friend group or something. I look to those people, say kind of for my emotional stability, and I'm not willing to detach from those people. even if I might want to get in a relationship or marry someone and start a family with someone, it's kind of like I'm really still codependent, like say on their original family group. And I would be kind of really unstable if I didn't kind of stay codependent on those people and I wasn't willing to tell the truth of it. And then you get in a relationship with them and you're sad because you see that they might not be people who are emotionally independent, who stand up for themselves, who defend this relationship. You know, if they have people in their life who like them to emotionally indulge them, don't pay attention to those people. We know you married them. We know you have children with them, but you're supposed to emotionally indulge us. And you don't want to become more independent of us and stand up for yourself, do you? So make us more of a priority than the people in your life that you're trying to manifest a new dream into reality with. Anyway, there could be some people in the world who, you know, the Three of Cups can be people in our life that we have love for, because the 2, 3, and the 4 of Cups is Cancer energy, which is about love and home and family. Some people could feel emotionally manipulated, either by their own fear, insecurity, pride, ego, insecurities, or then whatever their shadow nature is, whatever it is that kind of tempts them to not like love and believe in themselves and be more independent in the world, then they could have other people in their life that play on whatever it is that they can play on. You know, oh, are you fearful a relationship won't work out? Are you afraid people will manipulate you? Let me play on your fear and insecurity. Let me try to make you defensive to loving yourself and believing in yourself. Let me try to convince you not to move forward with the loving people in your life. Let me basically emotionally manipulate you. We have the Page of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the 5 of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, and the 3 of Cups, or the 3 of Pentacles. Some people have the 5 of Wands can be having a lot of inner conflict. Because again, we have this dualistic nature and we live in a dualistic world. We have our own I want what I want nature. And shadowy Aries, you know, Aries energy in general is about the self. But in high vibe, it's people who've grown and matured themselves. They went within to deal with the things they could prefer to keep hidden in the dark. And they put in work and effort to detach from the things that try to stop them from being more emotionally independent in the world. Because high vibe energy is about being free. Free to live your life authentically. I'm not going to let my fear, my insecurity, my pride, my ego, my more immature, indulgent, selfish, greedy nature run my life. Because that's nothing to be proud of. And I want to grow myself to my full potential. And, you know, the Knight of Swords is Gemini energy, and Gemini energy is a dualistic sign within all of us. And it is about which aspect of myself am I going to align with? Which one do I think I should align with that I believe I can work with to manifest my dreams into reality? Is it the world, my ego, working with the things of the world? Or is it believing in my dreams and truth and love? Is that what I'm going to work with? Basically, what do I decide I think will make me happy? And there's some people who don't want to do love because they could get hurt. And some people would rather do anything other than maybe get emotionally hurt. You know, so not going to do truth and love. Nope, I'm going to make my life all about indulging myself in the world. And I might even get in relationships with people who I don't even love. You know, if they're willing to indulge me being defensive to love, or being just and fair, or being vulnerable, well, then they're the person for me. Do they have the money and the status and the image that I want? And They don't care if I really love them. They want me to work together with them and invest in them to help create this illusion about how wonderful everything is. Perfect. They're the people for me. And some of you might have known some people like that. And it's like, if that's your view of life, where you want to hide from the world and you want to make your life more about conforming to the world and hiding, living your authentic life, being free to authentically be yourself from a foundation of love and respect for yourself, to go do the things that really you love and motivate and inspire you from a foundation of love, not fear, not insecurity, not pride, not ego, not immaturity, not indulgence, but to grow to your full potential, to fight for the truth, believing you can grow to your full potential, you know? But there's some people that have a lot of inner conflict because they kind of always give in to their more immature nature. Me. I want what I want. I do have past pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs that I probably don't deal with. And because of that, when I've gotten in relationships, they didn't turn out so well. Because I have a lot of growing up to do. And I might not want to speak the truth. And I might not want to be loving and just and fair. I might be more about ego and image and money and materialism and indulging myself. So some of those relationships didn't work out. But instead of learning how to love themselves, to start to deal with their own inner conflict about the fact, that maybe they had some growing up to do. And because they had some growing up to do, it could cause them to be competitive in their relationships because, loving people are loving. People who are motivated to be just and fair are just and fair. People who are motivated to grow and mature themselves, grow and mature themselves. But some people have inner conflict, maybe even about thinking they need to grow and mature themselves. When someone is holding a pentacle, the possibility is there for them to learn lessons in life. But some people have a problem with even thinking they have to grow up and mature themselves. Some people like to be emotionally indulged like a child in a relationship. Some Five of Wands is Leo energy. Some people can be very prideful and egotistical. So that's when they have a hard time maybe even admitting that they have some lessons to learn in life. If they want to come together with others in joy and celebration where people work cooperatively together. It's our more immature nature that's kind of maybe the poor, pitiful me. And I haven't learned to love and believe in myself. And some people kind of have this illusion about what it means to be in a relationship. Well, can it be more about me being indulged in a relationship? Well, you're like loving and nurturing and everything. Can't you come get in a relationship with me and you love me? It's kind of like a person who has a lot of growing up to do, who is kind of repeating a pattern maybe because they might have some issues from childhood that they haven't healed from. And they kind of want to repeat that dynamic. Like, I want you to be like a parental figure to me because maybe I was disappointed by how my parental figure treated me growing up. But I haven't learned to love myself. So shadowy energy can be like being codependent. Instead of me doing work within my own foundation to love and believe in myself and put in work and effort into my unstable ways of being, love is what helps us heal. And if we were to do that work, we can come out with the truth. I have learned to give myself the things that I wish other people would have given me. But for one, we have to be willing to even admit that we have past pain and heartbreak that we need to heal from. We might need to see that we're in codependent energy. I'm looking for someone to love me because I haven't learned to love myself, which I think is the hardest lesson to learn in life, you know? And some people, even when you could have been in a relationship or a marriage, some foundation that you thought that together maybe you could put in work and effort and you'd come out on the other side, like both on the same page. And that's when someone could have been hiding. They kind of just like to be indulged in a relationship. They don't maybe want to see the truth. They could hide from seeing the truth. Why would some people hide from seeing the truth? Well, it could be really destabilizing to them. You know, why is it probably when people go to a psychologist or whatever that it's always like, well, how does that make you feel? What do you think about that? Because probably within 2 times of meeting them, the psychologist pretty much knows the dynamic probably going on. But if they were to tell the person would get pissed off and leave and never come back again. You have to let people, when they're ready to deal with the truth, they'll deal with it. And we've got to see the truth when some people are not willing to deal with the truth. Some people don't want to admit that they do like to be indulged in a relationship. Some people don't want to see the truth that they are more motivated and inspired by the world or ego and image than love. That people might invest in relationships with other people who maybe haven't learned to love themselves because it's good for their ego and their image and their status so long as it lasts. But then if the other people start to do the work to heal, well, then it's kind of like the gig is up because they weren't planning to deal with their own issues. It's like, well, that's too bad. So you see through the illusion, you see the truth that is kind of more about me and my ego and my image and me being indulged. And you really want truth and love and like justice and fairness. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that because that would require that I let go of my truth. And my truth is, I think this is a just and fair way to live life. And this is how I want to live life. And we just have to see the truth when we get in those mismatched relationships that we're not on the same page about what would make us happy. And so, yeah, some of the shadowy people could be sad that those relationships didn't work out. But for some of them, they kind of indulge themselves and indulge our more immature nature. Which is kind of, I want what I want, but I don't want to have to put in the work and effort to deal with my issues, heal from my past pain and heartbreak, heal from my more self-centered or egotistical or indulgent nature, or whatever it is that makes me reject love. I don't want to deal with it. Sometimes, and then sometimes those people are, the Five of Wands can just be competitive people. And they're really competitive in the world. And it's all about looking like they have the status and the image and that they're in these relationships and working together with people that make them look victorious and successful because where they derive their sense of worth and value is based on how they think in their mind other people view them. And it could be all about keeping up with the Joneses. And you have to have a certain status and you have to have a certain image. Some of the people that were shadowy, could have been in relationships with loving people, but they knew the loving people were like healing and they were ready to move forward in life differently. And they were hiding, they were already looking for someone else to go invest in because I'm not going to detach from any of my old ways of viewing life. I don't want to see the truth. I don't want to deal with the truth. They could have even done something immature or hurtful or unkind out of their fear or their insecurity or their codependency or whatever, that kind of blew up the whole thing. And then they didn't want to speak the truth. And other people saw it and other people left. And then there's some people, I view myself like being this type of person, and people can view themselves, again, have illusions about who they are, all their life. I view myself as this very stable, grounded, emotionally mature person, but they're not. And it ends up becoming evident when other people get in a relationship. But, as long as other people buy into the illusion, it works out great. And they could be people who try to present themselves as much more stable and grounded and mature than they are. They get in relation when one relationship ends, they want to put an end to the truth. They don't want people to know the truth. Some of you could have been dealing with narcissists that, they've definitely bought into the illusion of who they are. They're actually shadowy, immature people who have a lot of healing to do. But because they have this grandiose image of who they are, and they have inner conflict about dealing with the truth and growing and maturing themselves, it's all about maintaining within themselves, anyway, this illusion of who they are. And when other people see through the illusion and leave, they go look to see someone else, to go get in relationship with someone else who doesn't know the truth yet about who they are. And then they communicate with those people, hoping those people might have their own inner conflict about relationships in their life that didn't work out, and maybe haven't learned to love and believe in themselves, and they get those people to invest in a relationship with them. And as long those people could put a lot of work and effort into making a relationship successful, and if those people are people who love and believe in themselves and believe in their dreams, eventually they feel like, I feel like I'm missing an opportunity in love in this relationship. Because I keep trying to, maintain balance in the relationship and try to inspire, offering love to try to get them to kind of grow and mature themselves and work together with me more cooperatively. And they kind of keep rejecting love because it's more like, I like being the person who's indulged in this relationship. And eventually the people are like, why? I have a dream. And I feel like the other person likes to not deal with their issues and just likes to live in fantasy land and hide from the truth. And I'm going to speak my truth and I'm moving forward. Are you coming with or not? And some of them are like, nope. I align with my more worldly view of life, or my more fearful or insecure or all about me nature of life. And even though it was great and lovely to be in a relationship with people who are loving and warm, I'm sure in my ego, I can find someone else who might be sad, who would be willing to get in a relationship with me. And, I'll kind of indulge them in my more immature nature, kind of like having sex with someone, so that they'll keep investing in me, or because they help provide me with looking like I have the status and the image and the stability and security that I want, even though they themselves could be very immature and unstable, have a lot of issues in their life they haven't dealt with. And if they can get in relationships with people who seem very nurturing and loving and stable and grounded and inspiring and stuff like that, then it's good for their ego and image. So it's like, oh, this is like a good investment. This is someone who hasn't figured out the truth of me yet. And as long as they don't know the truth and they don't start to heal from their own past pain and heartbreak and fears and insecurities, we'll keep staying in this relationship until something happens. Either they do this inner work within themselves to heal, and as they start growing and maturing, I'll keep rejecting them more because I don't want to move forward in life differently. I want to live life like this. And eventually it becomes too much disparity in the relationship, or the shadowy person would maybe do something kind of either being stubborn, prideful, defensive, secretive, not revealing the truth, being competitive, being immature, trying to cause their partner to be sad. And it's kind of like, well, but we have everything here. Don't you want to keep staying and working on this relationship? Which is kind of human nature tendency. You know, if you're in a friendship or relationship or got a job, you'd really like that to work. And so sometimes they'll purposely do things to cause conflict and fighting if the person they're in a relationship is seeming to know their worth and value and be more confident and stable and grounded within themselves, learning to love themselves. Oh shit, I better do something to cause conflict or get them in their ego or get them in their competitive energy and make them sad that they better start paying attention to me because it's really supposed to be about me. You know, and eventually you go through that pattern enough times in a relationship, if it's a mismatched relationship, and eventually the other people say, you know, I've come to a place of peace about this. I have done everything I can to love and encourage you to be loving in this relationship. And you keep not choosing love. You keep choosing to try to emotionally manipulate me in this relationship. And I've come to peace about it. And I know my worth and value. And I'm motivated and inspired to work with people in the world who do want to work cooperatively with me. And if you're not willing to do love, then I no longer want to invest in you. And I'm not going to keep indulging you in your immature, competitive, prideful, manipulative ways of being. If you want to go be more aligned with some other people in your life or make your life more about indulging yourself, go ahead. I've seen the truth, and that's not my truth. And I love and believe in myself enough to become emotionally independent of you. So just like some of you have done that, other people could just be doing that right now. And then another storyline that's here, you know, just like our own fearful, insecure, not wanting to put in work and effort nature wants us to give up on ourselves. Our own shadow nature tries to make us give up on the truth. Because our shadow nature is kind of like we have the knowledge of good and evil within us and the seeds of, you know, the beastly person we could become if we were really became consumed with selfishness and greed and immaturity and all that stuff, you know. And then we have the seeds of our more loving, intuitive nature. It's spiritual warfare. Our shadow nature is always trying to get us to give up on believing in ourselves and loving in ourselves. Our shadow nature wants us to invest in hiding from the truth. Make our life more about the world. Let's go indulge in the world. Let's love our immature nature and go compete in the world and make our life about indulging ourselves in the world. I'm sure we'll be happy, won't we? You know, that's like the devil competing with God, you know, and then at the bigger picture, we do have like negative energy represented by the devil competing with high vibe energy, which is God. High vibe energy wants us to love and believe in ourselves. And we probably have people in our life who want us to love and believe in ourselves, who encourage us to become all that we can be. And then we probably have some people in our life who are kind of in some shadowy energy, who would like us to not love and believe in ourselves, to indulge them in friendships, family groups, marriage relationships, because it works for them. And they don't want us to become all that we can be, because they don't plan to become all they can be. They don't plan to deal with their issues. They indulge their more immature worldly nature, and they want us to indulge our more immature worldly nature and align with them. So it kind of comes down to Aries, energies of the world. Whichever aspect you align with within yourself is going to dictate who you align with in the world. And if you think you can be shadowy and just try to create an illusion that you're more high vibe or grown and mature or healed than you are, it will become evident if you're in relationships with people who are more mature, healed, not operating, trying to manipulate people, not being deceptive, not prideful and wanting to be in relationships because of pride and ego. It will become evident, and it won't work out anyway because, you know. So some people could have people in their life that they could love, that they'd like to have move forward with them. Could be friends and family. And they'd really like those people to keep moving forward with them in a relationship. But if those people, I don't know, want, like, the price to pay to be in that group is to keep being sad and disappointed. And the difference between the 4 and the 9 is taking back the 5 of Cups, which the 5 of Cups is Scorpio energy, which can be a more emotionally shallow, superficial relationship. And I want to be in relationships with people who aren't emotionally shallow and superficial, where I'm not indulging them or they're not indulging me more because of ego or image, or because I haven't learned to love myself, or they haven't learned to love themselves, or I'm really in my ego, or I'm afraid of competition, or I don't want to have to get out of my ego. I don't want to have to grow up and mature myself. I don't want to have to speak my truth. Well, then some of those people are probably going to keep staying in relationships for those reasons. The truth sets us free. And the people who are done feeling manipulated, the people who have gotten out of their ego and know there's more to life, that, how much stability and security do I need to have to be happy? And there too, the divine works with us to try to manifest our dreams into reality. The world, or the devil, wants us to think we can only work with the world, but we've all been given unique talents, skills, and interests that if we were to go within and think about the things that really motivate us, inspire us, and things that we really like to tinker with, or whatever, some people like bugs, some people like math, some people like art and music, some people like tarot, that God figures out how to have that make money for us. And much less we're free from people who manipulate us. We're free from people who are trying to compete with us. Oh, I was going to say too, you might have, just like our own shadow nature wants us to stop us from speaking the truth and moving forward in truth, there's other people in the world who want us to stop speaking the truth. And just like some people previously that you could have been in relationships with kind of turned their back to you and weren't willing to invest in you, even though you could be like a dream come true to them, they're not willing to speak the truth. Or, like if you wanted to be back in a relationship with them, you'd have to be willing to not require them to speak the truth. You'd have to keep requiring and allowing them that they're not going to stand up and defend like truth and love or whatever, And then there's people in the world who are just shadowy, kind of prideful, egotistical, your light irritates their demons. And those people could just try to do hurtful things, trying to destabilize you, because people don't like that you love and believe in yourself, that you aren't controlled and manipulated by the same things that manipulate and control them, and they can see that you're free and that you aren't addicted or enslaved by the same things that enslave you. And shadowy energy can be vengeful and vindictive, and it's like, I keep wanting to try to bring you down. And it doesn't have to even be the person you were in a relationship. It could be other people in the world, other people in their life But some of you have been in a relationship with people who sided with those people. And, it should be to thank the people in their life, because any of the people in your life that you thought would move forward with you in truth and love and justice and fairness, there was a part of them that they were hiding, and the other people in their life who were able to tempt them to align more with their more shadowy nature just revealed the truth of what was really hidden, that you weren't seeing the truth of, because you could have loved them or whatever, didn't want to see the truth, or it was just hidden from you. And it helped reveal the truth of who they really were. And the truth could have been that they were more immature than you thought. They could have been more prideful or egotistical or materialistically than you thought. They could have been people who really don't want to do love. And they like to be in more maybe superficial relationships. Because to do love, you have to be vulnerable and you have deep, authentic relationships with people. And some people don't want to do that. They'd rather live a life being sad than maybe all the emotions that they've kept buried beneath the surface that they haven't dealt with. That could kind of be destabilizing for some people. But I think high vibe people have gone within. They've seen the truth about what would really truly make them happy. And they're willing. The whole thing is, at one time, something could have been our truth. Just like when we were age 15 and when we were 18 and age 21. When we were at those ages and we lived our life that way, it was a blast. It was appropriate and fine. But then as we get older and we kind of grow and mature ourselves and we give up our more childish ways of being and we face some of our fears and insecurities, we go to the next age level. And then that's perfectly appropriate and just that we're living our life like that. And, there could have been a phase where people were more immature. They were maybe more motivated by the world or more motivated and driven by money or materialism, where they didn't even focus on loving relationships. And now they're ready to let go of that phase of life. At one point that had been their truth, and that's really could have even what gave them joy and happiness, that they were really focused on their career, because they really loved it. But maybe because they really loved it, it didn't really have an opportunity for them to really emotionally invest in people. And some people are seeing the truth of that, and they're ready to let go of that. Some people right now, if they're in a mismatch kind of relationship, could be having something shocking happen, which is what the Tower talks about, that reveals the truth that someone is always tempted more by their competitive, egoic, indulgent, immature nature, whatever the case is. And it's setting some people free because, the divine doesn't like it when there's an injustice. If someone's a loving, nurturing, warm, encouraging person and the other person is just trying to present themselves that way because it benefits them for whatever reason to be in the relationship, the divine could be doing something, because the Tower is a universe card, just like the Virgo Hermit is kind of a major arcana, to try to get people to see the truth. And for those of you that could have communicated with someone kind of wondering, are they doing the work within themselves, blah, blah, blah. There comes a point in time where we've got to detach from it, and something might happen. Maybe some people are going to get married that you didn't think would get married to someone. And they might get married, and that's like, oh, well, I guess they are staying in that relationship or whatever. And that's just the confirmation you needed. And the whole thing is because the divine is trying to set the people who are motivated and inspired by justice and fairness and truth and love to keep moving forward, believing in your dreams, because it maybe isn't going to happen with any of these people that you might have already known in your life. And it's time to go take action in the world, just enjoying your life, enjoying the loving, nurturing people in the world, and finding someone new. So let's go to the second phase here. What's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Aries energy? The Six of Wands in reverse because of the Ace of Pentacles. So for some people, something they thought was going to be victorious isn't. And why? Because of the Ace of Pentacles. And some people could be getting rid of something they thought would be victorious. So if some people were in something that they thought was going to be victorious, something could happen to reveal the truth. Virgo energy goes within to see the truth. And some of the people who are getting out of a relationship are revealing their truth. That the way they've been living their life and whoever they've been hanging out with isn't the victory they might have portrayed to people that it was, that they've really been kind of unhappy or feel unloved, and they don't want to keep moving forward with that. They've seen the truth. And for those of you who might have been waiting for someone to communicate with you, if they're not communicating with you, that is the answer. And that is the truth. And to keep moving forward, because there is nothing new to be learned there, because some of those people could be repeating past patterns, and you've already been there and done that, and you're ready to go forward in life independent of the past. What's coming up for the people? And then there's you might be surprised that there might be someone that communicates to you. It could be someone, since you've detached from the past things, that might make you an offer and communicate to you that they would like to be in a relationship. And with the Six of Wands in reverse, they're not somebody operating from ego or shadow. Okay, what's coming up for the people that harness a more shadowy or worldly focused Aries energy? The High Priestess, the Ten of Swords, because of the Star card. Well, for one thing, is if there was some mismatched relationships and some shadowy people were trying to manipulate and destabilize kind of a loving person into giving up their dreams and doing the relationship the way they want. What they didn't see coming is that the loving people in their life listen to their intuition and they believe in their dreams, and they've completed a cycle with this person. They've probably went within to deal with all their fears and insecurities about detaching from this old way of living life or people. And when you complete a cycle, you drop all the 10 swords and you come out with the truth. They no longer view something as being their dream, and they have a new dream. And they're listening to their intuition to guide them. And some of the shadowy people did not expect that. What? You love and believe in yourself? What? You're becoming emotionally independent? What? You don't view me as a victory and want to have a new beginning with me and keep investing in me? Shit. Never thought. Because some of these people in shadowy energy could be quite full of themselves. And if they have a lot of money and status, or they're good looking, or they're charming, or they're attractive, and they think that people should want to be in a relationship with them for these things of the world that they have. It's kind of like the devil, right? The devil's like, I have all these things of the world. Don't you want to work with me? And when people are like, no, because my intuition is telling me this is getting toxic and unhealthy, and I don't feel very loved, and I don't want to live an emotionally shallow life, I think I'm going to listen to the divine and my intuition and love to guide me. And the devil's like, shit, I never thought they, it's kind of funny because the devil in the Bible was referred to as like, what was it? The morning star. And some of these people that have a lot of things of the world think nobody would ever want to not be in a relationship with them, because look at all these things of the world that they have. And it's like, I can't keep staying in a relationship where people reject love and don't offer me love and reject my love. And I'm not going to miss an emotional opportunity and love just because it looks victorious by worldly standards. It's not enough. Another thing they might not see coming. Well, see, there's always some people prey on other people. They purposely kind of look for people who are fearful or insecure, don't love and believe in themselves. Well, the thing is, there's other bigger fish who are looking for people like this. Some of these people turn their back on a loving relationship because someone said they were sad. And some of these people thought, oh, look, I know what. I'm going to go present myself as loving to this person over here who says they're sad. And what they don't know is that the person who they thought was kind of maybe, I don't know, naive and gullible, or would be more motivated and inspired by the things of the world, they didn't realize that the person who kind of tempted them, come align with me, you should get in a relationship with me, don't go with those loving people, don't love and believe in yourself, come be in a relationship with me, that person either tempted them to come get in a relationship with them because they kind of wanted to put them in their place and they wanted to backstab them, or the whole reason they got in a relationship with them is because I don't like the person that you're in a relationship with and I want to backstab them. And once you have left the relationship with them and come get in a relationship with me, well, sorry, I was just in my ego and my competitive nature. Whether I'm your sibling or a romantic interest, I was competing with the loving people in your life. I wanted to backstab them. And then once you left them, oh, sorry, I'm not going to invest in a relationship with you and I'm going to let the relationship go. Because the truth is, I was just kind of indulging myself in my ego. I try to present myself as like high vibe and that you should come get in a relationship with me and I'm someone you can trust. But really, I just wanted to backstab and betray you or the person you were in a relationship with. Another thing they might not see coming is they might have someone else who wants to get in a relationship with them. And that person is maybe presenting themselves either as someone who is connected in with their emotions and their intuition, because the high priestess is Cancer, Pisces energy, and Aquarius energy, like, I have the same dream you have. But they could be hiding that it's all kind of strategic, and they could even live more from their mind and even be a better manipulator of people than some of these people, because some of the people who don't want to deal with their past pain and heartbreak, who try to get people to indulge them in a relationship, I don't know if it's purposeful or not, but it is kind of strategic because they know they don't really want to be vulnerable and more authentic in a relationship, and it's hoping that I can just kind of create this illusion and get in a relationship with you, and it'll take quite a while for you to realize maybe that I have some past pain and heartbreak or some self-limiting beliefs that make me be defensive. Well, if they were in a relationship with loving people and that didn't work, guess who's coming up to bat next? And they might have someone who purposely looks for people like them. Oh, did you backstab people who you could have had your dream come into reality with? Perfect. You're just the kind of person I like to get in a relationship with. I mean, my mind doesn't think that way, so I don't know what they're going to do. But it's like to purposely use the fact that some of these people don't want to live life any differently than they live it. It's like, perfect. You have inner conflict about growing and maturing in yourself, and you're kind of really all about ego and image, and you maybe got some past pain and heartbreak you haven't dealt with. Ooh, you are just the kind of person I like to get in a relationship with. I'm going to play on all of those ways about you to get you to get in a relationship with me. because I do want all those things of the world. And if you have those things of the world that I want, yeah, then I want you to get in a relationship with me. But the whole thing is, it might be just to marry someone seeming like they're peaches and cream, and then, I don't know, maybe to backstab them and leave them in regret. Maybe some of those people are someone from their past. That, gosh, scary to think that some people over years and decades could be that vengeful. But this could be someone from their past who feels like you hurt and betrayed me in the past, and I'm all full of myself and think I'm all that. How dare you have rejected me in the past? And now that you're looking for someone else to invest in and you still haven't grown up and matured yourself, I'm going to get in a relationship with you and I'm going to make you think all your dreams are going to come true. And then I'm going to backstab you. For some, you never know. Let's hope not. Listen to your intuition. High vibe people are truthful, honest, authentic, warm. Their cup overflows because they know how to fill their own cup emotionally. You know, the shadowy people, some people are in a relationship right now and they could think, no, I'm sure this will work out all fine. I do kind of feel like I'm missing an opportunity in love, but I've put in work and effort. The thing is, when we're not listening to our intuition, and our intuition is telling us there's something wrong here, we better start to realize that the people that we might, if we're not loving and believing in ourselves and encouraging the people we're in a relationship with to love and believe in ourselves, and if they're not doing it, we better get out of that relationship. Because we could be in relationships with people who have no intention of bringing our dream into reality. And some of the people that are in a relationship right now don't realize they're sabotaging themselves. If they're already in relationships with people who are unloving, unkind, manipulative, immature, self-centered, prideful, egotistical, and they keep thinking, oh no, one day, again, we knew people in school, bullies, we knew immature people, we knew prideful, egotistical people. Do we really probably think many of those people have changed their stripes, even if they're 40 years old now? Odds are against it, because those ways of why we decide to be the type of person we are somehow gets kind of maybe imprinted on us when we're young. And some of the people that think, oh no, it'll work out fine. And then another thing you have to realize, let's jump again, is that if there was someone that some of you could have communicated with, that, I maybe rejected you, didn't get in a relationship with you, whatever, in my past, because basically I had lessons learned in life. And, now I've learned these lessons and I always viewed you as a loving, nurturing person, or basically I wouldn't get in contact with you. What you don't know is that some of the people could have been turning their back on you. And part of the reason why part of you could have even left it, even though you maybe didn't want to acknowledge it to yourself, was knowing that the person was kind of a little more indulgent than you realized. And actually, some of those people are more aligned with their shadowy nature. And some of those people could be hiding that they're kind of happy your dream didn't come into reality, because their dreams didn't come into reality either, because they align with maybe their more shadowy nature. But it doesn't really matter. We don't really know what other people think and feel. And, we can only just speculate by what the tarot cards mean. And the whole thing is, we're not going to let people who aren't investing in us, being truthful, being just, being fair, keep us down. It's like, I'm sorry at whatever keeps you down, because we need more healed, balanced, loving people in the world. So I wish you peace, but I'm not going to let it destabilize me that other people could be getting in other relationships, trying to do things to make me feel backstabbed or betrayed or whatever. You do you, and what you do is only a reflection of your life. And I don't take what you do as a personal reflection of my worth and value, because high vibe people know they can be proud of themselves because they know they did work with people in a loving manner, that they did put in work and effort to grow and mature and heal themselves, and that they acted with character and integrity, and they spoke the truth and moved forward in truth and love. So the high vibe people know that things are going to work out for them regardless of what anyone else does. But it's kind of sad that sometimes people who are in shadowy energy purposely do things and kind of use other people in relationships as like pawns in their game of like revenge or whatever. I'm mad that those people saw through the illusion of who I am. I'm going to go do this and this with this person, hoping they won't feel victorious, hoping it'll stop them from moving forward in life. It's like, that's not why you should get in relationships with people. That's very unloving. I'm going to go communicate with this person to try to cause these other people to be in their ego, to get them in their competitive energy. It's like, I'm not in my ego about it. I've learned how to fill my own cup. You're repeating an old pattern. I've seen you do this before, and I'm sure you'll continue to do it again. And you really shouldn't communicate with people and tell them you want to work with them and get in a relationship when, it's unloving and it's unkind and it's immature and it's hurtful. How about you go get in relationships with people you really want to be in a relationship with, and don't take action and get in relationships because of the impact you want to try to have on someone's life. High vibe people are empowered within themselves, and they try to encourage other people to love and believe in themselves, to be empowered to take action in their life from a place of love. Shadowy people haven't learned to love themselves, and they haven't freed themselves from all the things that manipulate them, so they don't feel empowered. And in order to feel powerful, is to try to have this negative impact on other people. Look, I'm going to go do this, and I bet it'll upset these people. And it gives them this false sense of empowerment. And the reason it's a false sense of empowerment is, yes, for a while, it might disrupt people a little bit, but they love and believe in themselves and they move on. And then their ego balloon like deflates, and they have to go find another way to try to feel powerful, where if they actually invested in the truth about why they do that, they could free themselves from it, and they would be self-empowered from a foundation of being proud of themselves, that they love and believe in themselves, and they're no longer manipulated by their petty, envious, jealous, competitive, prideful, egotistical nature, and they'd be free to go live their life. But some people will never free themselves, so that's the way it goes. So there you go, Aries energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.